Yep, that was the Weeknd pointing at me and the custom Tedros T-shirt I made for him, and him telling me he wanted it. But before we get into the happy ending of the story, allow me to tell you how it all started. It was good. Have you seen The Idol yet?
I seen a part of the first episode, but I wasn't really feeling it.
Trust me, keep watching. It gets way better.
I bet. Oh well. It was good though.
So you remember I used to make these vintage rap tees like 1 year ago, right?
Yeah.
So hear me out. I want to make one for Tedros, right? And gift it to the Weeknd next week at his concert in Amsterdam. What do you think?
Yeah, alright. Good luck with that, bro.
Wow. That's basically where the story starts. An unrealistic idea met with a lot of criticism by my own friends. As you can see in this and this screenshot, people thought the idea wouldn't work out. But that definitely did not stop me from trying. So I went ahead and started designing the t-shirt anyway. Designing and producing the t-shirt. So who is Tedros? For those who don't know, Tedros is a fictional character played by Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd in HBO's The Idol. So I came up with the idea of the Tedros T 1 week prior to his concert. And if you know anything about designing and producing clothing, then you know that's a very tight deadline. So on Monday, I immediately dropped everything on my to-do list and started working on the t-shirt. I already knew what kind of t-shirt I wanted it to be. It had to feel vintage and worn like those bootleg Tupac and Michael Jordan t-shirts. However, this is where I ran into my first problem. There were no high quality close-up shots of Tedros I could use for the t-shirt at all. At least not usable for the design I wanted to go for. I literally went through all of the Idol's IG page, Google Images, and even the official photographer for the Idols page. None of them had usable pictures. Obviously, this did not stop me from turning my idea into reality. So what I did is the following. I literally went and rewatched all of the Idol episodes that had released so far. Then I scrubbed through all episodes and looked for any usable scenes with Tedros in them. And then I simply just screenshotted them. This was a long and tedious process because when there's motion in a frame, I can't use it. So after that was done, I put all images in a folder and made an overview or mood board of the images I could potentially use. From there on, it was full on focus mode. No distractions, just continuously work on getting the design ready to be printed on a t-shirt. I also vividly remember that as soon as I changed the text to have a gold and diamond bling look, I knew I was onto something.
Hold up, let me cook. Oh my.
It took me like 16 hours, but I managed to get it done in a single day. After getting rid of the purple details, I added a third background image and a vintage texture. And honestly, when I saw the final results, I myself even was surprised that I pulled that off. Wow. So from this point on, I had a finished design ready to be printed on a t-shirt. However, please take a few seconds to guess what was still missing. Exactly, a t-shirt. A blank t-shirt to print on and an actual print shop that could help me out before the deadline, which was only a few days away. So yeah, that brings me to challenge number 2, finding t-shirts. I don't know why, but for some reason, none of the stores in Amsterdam had any decent quality blanks to use. I went to Zara, to H&M, to Pull&Bear, to Weekday, and Uniqlo, only to go back to H&M and settle on okay-ish blanks. Literally all of the blanks were either too slim, too thin, too short, or the fit was just awful. It was a mess. In the meantime, I also started contacting all print shops in the area in the hopes they were able to help me out. So this is what I sent them. Best. I would like to print 1 or 2 sample t-shirts, but I had a few questions. Can you do prints like the picture below? Do you have any blanks like this? Is it possible to come by tomorrow to have a design printed? And how long will this possibly take? Thank you in advance. Smiley face. I thought I was being smart by mentioning that I wanted to print samples because print shops hate it when you print stuff in low quantities. Well, this did not work because I literally got decline after decline after decline. And oh yeah, this dude straight up ignored me after I sent him the file he asked for. What a service. Luckily for me, one of the shops I contacted told me they were able to help me out and provide me with high quality blanks to print on. Unfortunately, I saw this email a bit late as I was still shopping in Amsterdam for blanks. So I told them I'd come by the next day because it was like a 1-hour drive and I wouldn't make it before closing. God bless this print shop because without them, all of this would not have happened. They were the only company out of 6 or 7 print shops I contacted all over Amsterdam that helped me out immediately. I went there that next day, got the t-shirts printed and just whoa, they came out even better than expected. Alright, so t-shirt design done, blanks found, and t-shirt has been successfully printed. I'm ready to give them to the Weeknd this weekend. Which brings me to the game plan. Step 1. Arrive early at the concert. Step 2. Do whatever it takes to stand in front. Step 3. Wave to T whenever he comes close. Right behind me is the Amsterdam Arena where the Weeknd is going to perform in less than a week. It's a stadium that fits over 50,000 people, so getting noticed by just one artist is definitely going to be hard, but we'll make it work. I mean, how hard can it be to get noticed by one artist in a stadium with over 50k people in the dark? Anyway, let's fast forward to the day of the concert. The day of the concert. So this day might have been the most stressful one yet. I got back from a trip to London around 3 p.m. I barely slept the night before, so I decided to take a nap. Big mistake. So I went ahead and showered and immediately headed out to Amsterdam for the concert. Of course, I had to end up in traffic because traffic always happens when you're in a rush. Alright, so as soon as I got into the arena, it was packed. So basically, I entered through these gates and it was filled with people standing near the statue and the moon. I tried to creep in between the people, but that was basically mission impossible. However, I did make a mistake here. As you can see on the map, there's a total of 3 standing sections. Regular, front field left, and front field right. So apparently I had to walk through another set of gates with security to get to the front field right section. I found out because a random girl saw me trying to get in front while I was wearing the front field right wristband, and she told me I had to walk more to the front to get to the right spot. So thanks to her, I moved from the normal standing spots to front field right. And this is where luck seriously struck me because this section was basically empty. As you can see in this video, I was very close to the barricade even though I arrived at roughly 7 p.m. So from this moment on, it was time for the final step of my mission. Gifting the t-shirt to the Weeknd. And not gonna lie, I was nervous at this point. Just look at how I am chewing my gum in this clip. Anyway, after a while, the Star Girls, his dancers, came on the stage, so I knew the show was about to start. It's game time. They start dancing near the statue, which is kind of creepy but also cool at the same time. And oh yeah, the statue is just insane. Like it's right out of a sci-fi movie. It's made by a Japanese artist named Hajime Sorayama, and if that thing would fit in my home, I would have taken it right there and then. Okay, so After that was done, The Weeknd finally came on and started performing. He started off with Take My Breath and the crowd started going crazy. From this point on, I started waving the t-shirt as soon as he came close. So I think he already saw the t-shirt during this part of the set because he pointed in my direction and the dude in front of me was literally screaming, "Oh my god, he looked at me!" But I personally think he was looking at the t-shirt. Anyway, the mission was obviously to gift the t-shirt and not just have him look at it. So I was far from being done yet. However, as he went to the front of the stage near the statue and moon, I decided to just enjoy the concert, live in the moment, and vibe to Can't Feel My Face, which also happens to be one of my favorite songs. And also, can we take a quick moment to appreciate the stage design? Because bro, again, that stuff felt like it's out of a movie. Okay, so fast forward and he walks back to the main stage and this was roughly 1 hour in after he takes off his mask. So it was game time again. And even during this moment, I'm almost certain he saw the T because fast forward in the same clip, he pointed at me and the t-shirt again. So at this point, I'm like definitely sure he saw the t-shirt, but still, I was supposed to give it. I remember also making the gesture of throwing it on stage and the security got mad at me and told me not to throw it. But then, just a few moments later, this happened. The Canon Event. After he was done performing after hours, the music stopped and he started talking and interacting with the crowd, as you can see in this clip.
Round of applause for night 2 in Amsterdam, everybody, come on. Y'all feeling good? Everyone having a good time? Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, bam!
I like your shirt. I like it. Can I have it after? Yeah, that's for me. Security, let's grab that shirt off of me. That's a great looking shirt right there. Thank you. Yes.
Like, literally the moment I least expected it. So yeah, that happened. And I can't even describe how I felt at that point. It was insane. I basically felt like Thanos sitting on his front porch after he snapped half of humanity out of existence. I mean, just look at me. I definitely felt like the main character. However, since I gave the t-shirt to security, as you can see in this clip, I wasn't even sure if the t-shirt would make it to him safely. That concern turned out to be unjustified, which I'll cover in just a bit. So at this point, the mission was complete and I was finally able to enjoy the concert properly. And since you asked, here is some more footage of his performance. Anyway, the concert ends and me, still feeling like the main character, had to take a couple of pictures near the stage to properly capture these moments. After that happened, I hopped on social media and saw a bunch of accounts posting videos of the moment that he asked for my t-shirt. At this point, most people did not know what t-shirt it was and who gave it to him. So I made an IG post summarizing everything that happened and replied to a tweet of the After Hours Till Dawn tour fan page. Little did I know that things were about to get even crazier. Going viral. So the first thing that happened at this point was The Weeknd retweeting my tweet in which I was wearing the t-shirt. So my notifications started going bananas on Twitter. Then he reposted my Instagram post in his story. Do you guys remember that friend of mine in the intro of this video who had to mention that The Weeknd only posts one story per month? Well, I guess we made it. So my notifications were blowing up and everyone was asking me to make more t-shirts because they loved the design. And honestly, at first I wanted the t-shirt to be exclusive and just a gift from me to him. But then I quickly realized that would have been unnecessary gatekeeping, since a lot of EXO fans would want to wear the t-shirt as well. And at this point I wasn't even sure if Abel himself was going to wear the t-shirt. So again, I dropped everything on my to-do list and start building a website. Shout out to Shopify, by the way, because without them this would have taken me ages. Instead, it took me less than a day to get everything set up. So then I announced the start of pre-orders from the Tedros T-shirt on my IG page, and orders start rolling in. Everything went smooth, but again, things got even crazier. The Canon Event number 2. So I was super tired, as I barely slept the night before, obviously. Guess what happens while I was asleep? He wore the t-shirt and posted it on his Instagram story and on Twitter. So I woke up to like 50 missed calls from my family and friends telling me that he's wearing the t-shirt. So as soon as I checked Twitter, the replies under his post are literally filled with spam comments of fake print-on-demand stores which were ripping off my design and selling it. That was kind of weird because some were even advertising it with my own face on it. Like if you Google search Tedros T-shirt, you get a bunch of scam listings using my own picture to sell my t-shirts. Etsy was also full of scam listings, but I eventually managed to get a lot of those taken down. I genuinely hope not too many people got scammed by this, but yeah, I guess this proves that going viral isn't all rainbows and sunshine. And Daily Mail also wrote a useless article on him wearing the t-shirt. Like, bro, fix your website because I'm just getting ad bombed left and right when trying to read the article. Tedros t-shirts for the team. And also, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I got an Instagram DM from Mitch. Mitch is a friend of Abel in real life and his right-hand man in the Idol. And I didn't know that he was on tour with him as well. Anyway, he wanted more t-shirts for himself and for Lamar, which is Abel's best friend, and Cash, which is Abel's manager. So I had to, of course, make that happen. The print shop is closed on weekends, so again I was working with a tight deadline as they open at 10 on Monday, and Mitch told me that they leave at 12. At this point, I also realized that this was my golden opportunity to meet the man himself, to genuinely get to know what he's like, pick his brain a bit, and of course, hopefully get my own Tedros t-shirt signed. And this piece. And this piece. So I basically had a new mission. Anyway, I made it just in time. While waiting in the hotel lobby, Mike Dean casually comes walking down to check out of the hotel and he sees me wearing the Tedros t-shirt. So he smiles and says, "Ha, Tedros." And I was like, yeah. Then after he checked out, he was like, you know, if you're waiting for the Weeknd, he's not coming down through here, you know. And then I told him that I was waiting for Mitch because they wanted more t-shirts. And he was like, oh yeah, cool. Little did he know that I was also on a side quest, which was of course to meet Abel. Anyway, a few minutes pass and Mitch comes down to meet me in the hotel lobby.
How much was it?
Obviously it was a gift, so no, I didn't charge him for the t-shirts. But I did ask him if he could help me get my tee signed, but he said it would be hard because they were all busy packing and stuff. Understandable, but that did not stop me from giving up. So I decided to wait in front of the hotel, which is right there. And after a while, EXO came out. And one of the buses had Cash sitting in front with his window down. And what did I do? I smiled at him and I froze. I didn't know what to say. So I kind of messed that part up. Anyway, let's wrap up this eventful story. So after hearing all of this, you might still be wondering,
why would you go through so much effort for someone who does not know you exist?
Well, hear me out. First of all, if someone provided you endless inspiration for all of your creative work, be it YouTube videos, design work, storytelling or whatever, would you not want to give them something in return? Exactly. Because the thing is, most of the people that listen to his songs do not realize the most impressive thing about his music is that they're all stories and they're all connected. The Weeknd isn't just a musician, he's an insane storyteller as well. And if you know me, you know that I love Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And just like the MCU, The Weeknd has built a whole universe and storyline around each of his albums, which makes experiencing his music and video clips even more insane. Trust me on this one, After watching this video, go and watch The Weeknd's After Hours Explained or the hidden meaning behind The Weeknd's trilogy album type video. You will appreciate this music even more after. Besides that, I also wanted to do something that has not been done before. It had to be special. There are hundreds of the Weeknd t-shirts, right? But I realized that no one made one for Tedros yet. And since I was actively watching The Idol every week and actually enjoyed it, making the t-shirt was my one shot at gifting something unique to someone who has been an endless source of inspiration for more than 8 years. And last but not least, The Weeknd is the only artist I've been consistently listening to since 2014. I saw him live for the first time in 2017 during his Starboy Legend of the Fall tour, which was also one of the first concerts I ever attended. So yeah, I guess I had to make the most out of it, seeing him live again after like 6 years. And if you happen to get the opportunity to experience it as well in the future, trust me, go for it. It's well worth it. What happened next? And if you were wondering if the story ends here, the answer is no. Because shortly after, this happened. And then this happened, which might make you wonder if I end up completing my second mission. But that story is for part 2 of this trilogy. I don't know yet. However, I do know if you want to hear what happened after this part of the story, make sure to subscribe and have your notifications on for part 2. And last but not least, if you're still watching and made it to the end of this video, I guess you're either a true XO fan or you simply liked my story. In both cases, I want to reward you with a discount code which you can use to purchase the Tedros shirt in case you like the design. I'm not sure for how long I'll be selling the t-shirt, but the link will be in the description of this video. I truly appreciate you and thank you for watching.